If you love liberty, declare your independence by signing the Shire Society Declaration at shiresociety.com.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to try to settle this before we even go to trial. Last time I had a parking ticket, I was able to sign a conditional no-cross agreement to pay the money instead to a charity, a local charity. I was hoping
I'm not interested in doing that.
I've printed it up. It's almost identical to the last one.
No, thank you.
No? Well, it's a $10 ticket, and I'd be able to pay it to this
You
charity.
can ask the judge for a resolution like that, but
Two complaints that got
Last time I asked the judge
by deception.
if he could use something like that, he said he wouldn't be able to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd be willing to also, I have a separate agreement to pay
So the
double
receiving
the amount of the ticket to the charity.
Going to be
No?
yes, sir. Come on up.
It's going to run away? Okay.
Here's the proceed with the Andrew Vermiglio matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
State calls Ryan Bernier.
Thank you. Mr. Bernier, if you'd like to come up here, please.
If I may, I had some questions before we begin for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. So if I'm found guilty through the course of this trial, do I have the opportunity to perform some sort of community service, like make some resolution for me to perform community service
Versus a fine?
in lieu of paying fine?
It's possible. That's all I'm going to say to that. What's your next question?
Okay.
It's possible.
I'd definitely be interested in that. Just future reference. Do I have the opportunity to, or the option to serve jail time in lieu of paying fine?
I suppose. I mean, if that's the last, if that's the last resort.
I just want to know my options here.
We try not to do that. That ordinarily is the last resort, but go ahead.
And then also, does this court do payment plans? If I want to do a payment plan?
We have considered that in the past. Yes.
All
There
right.
are a number of options in regard to the fines. That's correct, sir.
All right. I like the community service one the best. That's all the questions I have.
I haven't found anybody guilty yet.
Yeah, I'm just.
It'd be nice if we had the trial.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that going in.
Does it change your mind as to what you want to do here today?
Well, yeah, no, no.
Okay, well, fine. We'll have our trial. We'll determine whether there's guilt or innocence. And only if you found guilty would I impose a sentence of some sort. Do you understand?
Okay.
And then the questions that you've asked become very relevant at that point. Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now is the state prepared to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
You may call your witness now. Thank you. Come on up. Come on up. Now, if you could just come right up here, please. Remain standing, face me, and raise your right hand if you would. Do you swear any testimony you give to the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got? Have a seat, please. Counsel, you may proceed with your witness if you'd like.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, can you please state your name, spelling your last name for the record?
Brian Bernier, B-E-R-N-I-E-R.
How are you employed, sir?
I am employed by the City of Manchester for Parking Division. I am a parking control officer.
And how long have you been a parking control officer for the City of Manchester?
Almost 2 years now.
And can you just briefly describe your day-to-day duties as a parking control officer?
I walk around on a designated route looking for parking violations.
And were you working on July 12th of this year?
I was.
And do you know what the hours were that you were working that day?
11 to 8.
And do you have a set route that you walk or not?
We do.
And as part of your route, were you in the area of Central Street in Manchester?
I was.
And about what time of the day were you in Central Street area?
Probably around 1 to 3.
And did you notice any parking violations
I did.
that afternoon? And can you describe what you saw?
There was a white car with California plates, and they did not pay to park, and I issued a ticket.
And what was the exact address for where you noticed this white vehicle?
It was 32 Central Street.
And what kind of...
You say that they didn't pay the park. I mean, that's one of the, you go to the machine, you put your money in, you get a receipt, time, date stamped on it, you put it up on your, usually up in the dashboard, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, was there anything on the dashboard or just nothing on the dashboard?
There is no pay and display receipt on
So there
this.
wasn't even an expired one that you noticed?
Nope,
It's just nothing?
there is nothing.
Okay, go ahead, Counsel.
Thank you. And what kind of parking is there on Central Street?
It's pay to park, 8 to 8.
And to be valid to park there, you'd have to get a pay and display ticket from a kiosk.
That is correct.
And are there kiosks in that area?
They are.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness? Mr. Bernier, I'm going to show you a set of 4 pictures. Do you recognize those?
I do.
And what are those?
Those are pictures that I took before I issued the ticket.
And that's the white car with the California plates.
Yep.
And why did you take those particular pictures?
To prove that there is no pay and display on the dashboard or easy parking in the window.
And are these a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw that day on July 12th?
Yep.
Your Honor, that's some of the
Is the defendant seen those?
I did show those.
I had another look at that, actually.
I just want to make sure you've seen them, sir. Okay, now it states Exhibit 1.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, now, Mr. Vermiglio, do you have any objection to those pictures that the state has offered to the court?
Well, it actually looks like there's something on the dashboard. If you look really closely, that little white piece right in the front of the...
Do you have any objection to the photo? We
Yeah,
can certainly ask that question. I just want to know
Okay, well-
whether you have any objection to the photos.
No, it's a picture. I don't know if I objected.
All right, I believe it's been proper authentication. It's marked as states Exhibit 1 for identification. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask that question. There seems to be a piece of white paper up in the dashboard in the lower, that upper right picture. You want to take a look at that for me, please? Just curious what that is.
I'm not sure what that is, but if it was a valid pay and display for the city of Manchester, I would not have issued the ticket.
Do you recall seeing it?
I don't know. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yeah, you may. Yeah, sure. Let the record reflect the counsel showing the witness states Exhibit 1.
Mr. Bernier, I'm going to show you 4 other pictures. Do you recognize these?
Yeah.
And what are these?
Same pictures that I took.
And granted, they're black and white, but they're the same picture?
Yep.
And do you see anything in the windshield of any of those pictures?
Looks like a small piece of paper.
And how about in this picture?
Same small piece of paper. Take it on the dashboard.
Take it on the dashboard. Can you see anything on that one that has that piece of paper?
No.
Your Honor, I'd like to offer you evidence.
Let me take a look at those. So this is, what are these, larger depictions of the same photos?
Yes, Judge.
Is that basically it? And Mr. Vermiglio, do you have any objection to these larger portrayals of the photos that we just discussed? Any objection? All right, I'll mark those as States Exhibit 2. You may proceed, counsel.
And you didn't have any contact with the owner of the vehicle that day, correct?
Yep.
You did have?
No, I
You
did not have any contact.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Now, Mr. Vermiglio, do you have any questions for this witness? Questions, not comments.
Yes.
You can remain seated if you'd like. And if you've got questions, go ahead and ask them.
Okay, so you just mentioned that you didn't have any contact with me. So what evidence do you have that I myself parked the vehicle which allegedly violated that ordinance?
It doesn't matter if you parked it or not. The ticket's for the vehicle and whoever
The vehicle
is
owner?
registered it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why'd you stand so far away when you took the pictures? Why didn't you take a picture of the dashboard, which is where the ticket is supposed to be?
I did take a picture of the dashboard.
You're pretty far. I mean, how many feet would you say you were away from the car when you took the pictures?
Like one.
How long have you been wearing glasses?
Since like I was 12, maybe.
Okay. All right. Is it possible that there was a ticket on the dashboard and that you missed it?
No.
It's impossible.
Yep.
Have you ever written a ticket and then found out later that there was, in fact, a parking stop?
No.
No. All right. Well, it's the first time for everything. How long again did you say you worked for parking enforcement?
Almost 2 years now.
Okay. Let's see. Is it possible that the parking stub was flipped over and on the dashboard and that's how you missed it?
Could have been.
Okay, when you looked at those pictures, did you see something white on the dashboard?
There is something white on the dashboard, but if there was a pay display on the vehicle, I would have not issued the ticket.
Is that something white on the dashboard the approximate size of a parking stub?
Could be.
Yeah. Could it be a parking stub?
It could be, but it's not.
How do you know it's not?
Because I issued the ticket. I was there. If there was parking,
Okay,
if there was
so
a pay display receipt on it, you would not receive the ticket.
so the evidence that you have that the ordinance in question was violated is your accusation. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
So your accusation is evidence? Is that how justice works in this country?
Objection.
Sustained. We're not going to get into an argument over what people think is evidence. I'll determine what the facts are to try and reach an appropriate
All right.
decision.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
No
Ask
further
your next
questions.
question, sir. Go ahead.
No further questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Any follow-up questions?
Just how close do you get to the dash in the windshield to look whether there's
I walk right up to it, check it, and then I take the picture.
nothing further on?
You may step down. Thank you. State of anything further would like to offer regarding this complaint.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Vermiglia, the state has rested its case. You may, if you wish, testify about this and remind you don't need to say or do anything. The burden is upon the state to prove the case. If you testify, you'd be sworn in like any other witness and subject to questions. Now, do you wish to testify, or what would you like to do?
No, I was hoping to ask the prosecutor some questions.
I don't think we're going to swear him in as a witness. I mean, I'll allow your thoughts, but no, I don't think we're really going to get it asking him. He wasn't the one who issued the ticket, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think he was anywhere near this. Let me hear what that question might be, just to see what it is.
Yeah, I've got a couple here. Would it be fair to say that you are employed by the state?
I'm not going to allow that question.
Okay. Can you prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the laws of Manchester, New Hampshire apply to me?
I'm not going to have him answer that question either, sir.
All right, then no further questions. That's it.
Okay. Anything else? Any witnesses? You're all set?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, good enough. Thank you very much. Well, after review of the testimony and the fact that I'm somewhat familiar with what these parking things look like, and having looked at this and heard the evidence, I do find the defendant guilty. Now, what's the fine generally for this? Does he have any prior record of this?
I don't have anything in my file that would suggest he has a record of
It's
this.
a $10 ticket.
It's a $10 ticket, though.
$10 ticket? Okay, well, $10 then. Has it been paid? Did you post the bond? I think you already
Yeah.
posted the bond.
It's been posted, but I would like to perform community service in lieu of paying the fine, or if I could donate to a charity in lieu of paying the fine.
If it's been posted, sir, then there's some ability to pay, and I'm just going to order the fine to be paid, and that's that. Ordinarily, I would allow community service if there was no ability to pay. I do not find that since it's been bonded. So it's a $10 fine, it will be paid from the bond. Have a good day, you're all set. Try to make sure you get the ticket the next time. Have a good day, sir. Thank you.
May I ask one more
Thank you,
question?
Sure?
Is there a way to actually get a trial for a parking ticket without paying the cash bond?
No, not that I'm familiar with. Not that I'm familiar with.
I'll leave it at that, okay? Have a good day, sir. Thanks. All right, next case, please.
We'd like to invite you to visit freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeen.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeen.com.
I should be in Keene, New Hampshire with the Free Staters.